Hey, what's up guys? I'm doing a Arching deck profile. This is a update version post Extreme Force, and so yeah. So I think in one of my dual videos, the one versus Tribal Rockstone, I showed you guys that I was gonna be doing this type of deck profile with all guys. I tested out last night and it was just a complete bust. And so, my theory, or at least my reasoning, was control with alt guys and then swing with the archfiends, which that was my plan, but it didn't work out. Um, so I'm going back to the original, which is just pure Urchins, and I'm gonna be giving you guys an update for it. So sorry for not doing the Ultra's Arching thing, but it wasn't working, and I don't like giving you guys a bricky deck profile. So for anybody that is new to my channel and is new to this archetype, or at least to the old Arching archetype, you guys will probably want to watch this. But for anybody that's viewed my Arching deck profiles and has actually watched them, then you guys can skip to basically my to this part, to where I explain that. But anyways, so Shadow Knight Arching, so basically all the Archings have an effect where you pay life points during the semi phase, which is not optional, and so, and then they also have another effect where if they're targeted by a card effect, you roll a dice. If it lands on the number that's listed on the card, it negates the target and destroys it. So, and then his additional effect is that when he inflicts damage, any damage that your opponent takes is halved. So let's say you swing for 2,000. Well, because of this, the damage is actually 1,000. So yeah. And then 3 Infernal Queen Arching. So again, same thing with the life point and the targeting effects. Her additional effect is also during the semi phase of your turn and your opponent's turn. She activates and you target another Arching card on field, including itself, and that target gains 1,000 attack. So it's really kind of cool using, on your opponent's turn you make her 1,900, and then on your turn you can make another Arching like 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever you want to do. So it's pretty cool that in that perspective. And then Terror King Arching, just 2. Just because at 3 it tends to clog from what I've seen, and so 2 isn't bad. You can set them, and then the next card that I play works with it. So yeah. But his additional effect is that when he destroys a monster by battle, that monster's effect that it was destroyed, its effects are negated. So let's say I attack my punch monster and it tries to activate its effect. Because of this, it's basically negated. So it's really quite helpful to avoid threat cards and everything like that. So it's pretty cool. And then 3 Desert Arching. Now, this card's really quite cool because it works with Terror King. So, let's say your Terror King was destroyed by battle by a card effect, and let's say you had this in your hand. So you send this card from your hand to a grave, and then you special summon 1 Terror King from your graveyard that was destroyed this turn. So, it's really quite cool how it works with Terror King. So, yeah. And then 2 Arching General. So, basically what he does is that you send him from your hand to a grave, and then you search out for Pandemonium. which is really quite good because then that way you don't have to run like terraforming or anything else. You have the monster to send to search it out. So it's like Great Keeper's Commandment or the one for Sanctuary in the Sky. So it's basically like that. So it's pretty cool. So, and then for the final monster, which, or actually not the final monster, but for other monsters, 3 Eater Millions. And now I'm sure you guys are probably thinking like, why is this in here? This is a very good card. I've tested this in Archfiends recently, and it works really quite well. So basically, the only cards that you really want to use is this guy. You can use like Cowboy as well. I've only just used or something at 1 maybe, but basically the rest of the targets are for Eater Millions. So you have all this stuff except for 1 Cowboy. But yeah, the rest of it is just for Eater Millions. So it's really quite nice. And then if you find down your Punch Monster, you can also use your Punch Monster as well for Eater Millions. So it's really quite good in this deck to banish your Punch Monster and then be like, okay, bring out Eater Millions. So yeah. And then 2 Steed and Street Patrol. I ran this card in here recently, and I'm going back to it because I actually kind of like it in here. You can set it and then, you know, let it be destroyed or force barrel it. But you special a Fiend Monster 2000 attack or less from your hand, which is really quite nice. And so, yeah, it's just a really good card. And in Spirit Mode, just 1, 2 is too much in my opinion. But 1 to 2 is basically where I'd call it for Spirit Mode. So yeah, so that's basically it for the monsters. Now for the Spos, 3 Pandemonium. Just prevent you from taking damage. Oh yeah, and there's a really cool ruling with this guy and Pandemonium. So let's say you have both on the field. And my friend was actually telling me this because I was asking him the ruling with it. So let's say you have both on the field. This activates during the semi-phase, and so because this is also an Archfiend as well, and so since you would not take his effect damage from if Pandemonium is on the field, which is really quite nice. So you still activate to pay the cost of the 500, but because of Pandemonium, you would not take it. So he would stay on the field and you would not lose damage. So, which is really quite cool. So, 3 falling down, just standard for a Archfiend build. So, yeah, take your Punch Monster while you control an Archfiend, and be able to attack with it. So, 3 MST. Just really quite good to help get red back row. Double Duality, just to add consistency to a deck. Because you, well, sometimes kind of dead draw a little bit, but that's not often. You will most likely have a play somehow. So, yeah. Force Barrel to send the Street Patrollers to or at least 1 to a grave. So, yeah. 1 day piece. Still really quite good. And I really like it in here, so, yeah. And then 1 Brain Control. Now, the one that I've had before is not the reprint. It's not this one. And so, I got this one last night because I was wanting to run it, but I didn't want to write it down for regionals, and so I just decided to pick it up. So, But yeah, there's the new text. So pay 800 life points and then target a null summon or set monster and then take control of that target. So it's still not as good as the original, but it's not as broken as what the original was. So, and plus in Archfiends, your opponent's going to be null summoning a lot. Anyway, depending on the matchup. So yeah, so it's pretty useful in that situation. So, and then for traps, 3 Archfiends Roar. I almost thought about throwing Dark Room, or not Dark Room Nightmare. I have it right here. Let me grab it. I almost thought about throwing this in here because the turn that you set one trap, you can activate it, and that's only once per turn. But I thought about throwing this in here, but it's like, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting, but in the meantime, it'd be kind of like, I don't know. So that's just kind of a thought card that I had in mind. But anyways, and then 3 Dark Bribe. Just help negate spells, traps from targeting your field spell, which is really crucial, or from nuking your board. So yeah, and then 1 warning. So, but yeah, that's basically it for the main deck. It's 40 cards. So yeah. And then now for extra deck. So 2 of the Master King Archfiend. Now I want to zoom in and show you guys what he actually does. Let me turn down my brightness a little bit. There we go. So I'm actually gonna, let's see if that will actually read. There we go. So that's basically what the effect does. If you guys want to pause it and read, but it's really good, and it helps out Archfiends a lot. Even though they're not meta right now. But yeah, so that's basically what the effect does. So I'm gonna zoom back out. So if you guys pause it and read the effect, then it's really good, and it helps out DDDs a lot too, because it's just 2 fiend monsters. So yeah. So I'm not gonna go through what my actual extra deck, but I'm just gonna quickly show you guys what it was, in case you guys didn't see it earlier. So, but yeah, that's quickly through my extra deck. So, like I said, a bunch of it is just for Eater Millions. So yeah, just easy explanation there. So now for sideboard. 2 DD Crow. My sideboard is basically the same as Altergeist. So I'm gonna quickly go through this as well. Junk Kribos, Pure Kribo. If you guys don't know, a lot of it is basically standard for sideboard. DD Crows for anything. Pure Kribo is for Trickstars, but also I run Junk Kribo for that as well. It's really quite good. Lancias for Trickstars or basically dinosaurs. And then Double Jinzo for Cavern Fairy. So that's really quite nice. Another Spear Mode just in case to help out big board or draw into it faster, so that way I can out a big board. So yeah. And then Double Eclipse, same thing to help out big boards. And then Super Ancient Organism for Blue Eyes or dinosaurs. So yeah. So that's basically it for my deck file. Thank you all for watching. Don't you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I would do duels with this deck, but this card's not on Dueling Nexus at all. At least just yet. And so until that card hits the Dueling Nexus, I'm gonna wait for duels with this until that comes on. But until that does, I'll probably be doing maybe another deck profile tomorrow, or some more duels of other people dueling. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I will catch you on the next video. Layers.